You ever have one of those nights where you're just standing in your garage, the lights dim, bike's cold, and your mind's spinning faster than your engine? I had one of those last December. A chilly evening in Madurai. My classic was parked right where I always leave it, left side of the joint house porch, facing east. Same spot since the day I bought it. And I don't know what hit me that night, but I found myself crouched next to her rear wheel, just staring. Not admiring, not polishing, just looking, thinking. We all say the classic 350 isn't about numbers. It's about feel, bro. That smooth torque, the thump in your gut, the way it pulls without drama. But that bloody night, I had YouTube open on my phone watching some dyno test by this dude in Pune. His bike, same as mine, was strapped down, throttle opened wide, exhaust note screaming through that sterile lab room. And then came the number. 16.9 horsepower at the rear wheel. And I just sat back. Helmet still on, chin strap undone. I remember whispering, "Wait, that's it?" All these years of riding, all these early morning ghat climbs, Madurai to Munnar runs, mid-throttle overtakes past tourist buses, and you're telling me my bike's making the same power as a kitchen mixer? I mean, come on, we've all heard the Brochure line. 20.2 bhp at 6100 rpm. Sounds impressive, na? Like, whoa boss, I got 20 horses between my legs. But that's at the crank, not at the bloody wheel. What we feel on the road when that rear tire spins, that's what really matters. And what we get? About 17 horsepower if we are lucky. Less than what a Duke 200 makes while sneezing. But here's the twist. Lenin, it never felt weak. Never once did I look down at the tank and think, damn, I need more. Maybe on highways, yeah, when a friend on a 650 flies past like a mosquito and crack. But in the city, on those winding tea estate roads, the classics got rhythm. Not speed, not numbers, rhythm. And isn't that what power's supposed to feel like? Quiet, confidence,
This ride I'll never
not
forget.
a screaming
Happened
spec sheet.
earlier this year, midsummer. I was on the old highway between Theni and Kambam. It's not some fancy route, just a stretch of two-lane tar lined with sugarcane fields, the kind where tractors and goats are both part of the traffic. Heat was bouncing off the road like a tandoor, and I was riding solo. No backpack, no group, no destination pressure. Just me, the classic, and a tank full of cheap petrol from a dusty IOC pump. Now, about halfway in, there's this incline. Not steep, but long. You don't notice it until your throttle hand starts twitching. I dropped into third, held steady at around 60. That's when this chap on a 250cc sport bike rolls up next to me, gives me the look, you know the look, then drops a gear and takes off. And for half a second, my ego flared up like chili in hot oil. I twisted the throttle, not all the way, just enough. The classic groaned, but it pulled. Not fast, not flashy, no sudden lurch. Just that deep, steady push. I didn't catch him, obviously. The guy disappeared into the horizon like a WhatsApp forward. But what I remember is this. Even at full tilt, my bike wasn't screaming. It was singing. That bassy thump, the vibration just under my thighs, the wind bouncing off my helmet. It was musiced up. Real road-tested music. And when I crested the hill, I looked down at the tank. Same bike, same 349cc lump. Still just 17 horses at the wheel technically. But damn if it didn't feel like 30. Because, and I swear by my grease-stained gloves, feel matters more than figures. People talk about BHP like it's bragging rights. But out on that road, when your chain's tight, tires are warm, and the bike becomes part of your body, does a couple of horsepower really matter? This isn't a spec sheet machine. It's a soul machine. And if you've ever overtaken a bus at 55 kilometers per hour in fourth, with just talk and trust, you know what I'm talking about. That day, I realized that dyno numbers are real, but they are not the whole truth. They measure power.
I got a bit obsessed.
presence.
Started reading forums, watching dyno videos, even thought about doing a power commander upgrade. Like I was going to squeeze out 2 more ponies and suddenly smoke KTMs at the signal. But then one day, my brother, he's the Himalayan guy, He sat me down and said, Adi, what exactly are you trying to prove? And it hit me. Why was I chasing numbers on paper when the ride already felt full? What was I measuring really? We live in a world obsessed with data. 0 to 60 times, peak RPM, torque curves, BHP at the crank, BHP at the wheel. But not everything about riding can be turned into a chart. No dyno measures what it feels like to ride home after a long day, your boots covered in dust, engine cooling with a soft tick 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 as you sip chai on the porch. No stat captures that feeling of rolling off the throttle as the sun sets behind the hills, bike gently thumping like a heartbeat in your ears. You want numbers? Yeah, I'll give you numbers. One classic 350, one rider, hundreds of rides, thousands of memories, zero regrets. So what if it makes 17 horsepower at the wheel? It's enough. Enough to get me through city chaos, enough to climb hairpins to make Malai, enough to carry stories, not stats. That's the real dyno test. How much life your bike lets you live, not how many zeros it puts on a graph. And the classic? It passes. Every damn time. So next time someone throws BHP figures at you, just smile. Then kick your bike to life, feel that thump, and ride. Because numbers fade, but the ride always remains.